Social distancing is one of the main things the CDC is recommending to stop the spread of coronavirus. Coming up, what officials have to say on whether or not it's working yet. And we're entering our second week of the stay-at-home order in Colorado. Coming up, how it's impacting our local businesses and how they're adapting. Lucy?
And we've got a little bit of a change in the forecast today. We're going to be cooler with winter returning by Easter Sunday. We've got all those details coming up.
Good morning. Glad you're with us. I'm Rebecca Hager. My co-anchor Adam Atchison is working from home. As you know, we've been practicing social distancing, trying to have less people in the studio. Let's check in with Lucy first for your no-wait weather. I've been so excited about great weather because getting outside is one of the few things we can do.
It certainly is, Rebecca. And you know,
thanks, Lucy. Health officials say social distancing is working to slow the spread of the coronavirus, but federal and state officials are encouraging all Americans to keep it up. More than 14,000 Americans have died from COVID-19. Over 430,000 are currently infected. The national stockpile of equipment like masks and ventilators is nearly depleted. California signed a deal to get up to 200 million masks a month from China and will also send equipment to other states. And again, the national government says the national stockpile of medical protection equipment is almost depleted. The remaining 10% left there will be kept in reserve to support federal response efforts. We are waiting for the delivery of 100 ventilators from the Trump administration. A tweet from President Trump signaled the machines were on the way to our state, thanks to Senator Cory Gardner. The Republican spoke with Fox News about Colorado's joint efforts to find more ventilators. Governor Polis told CNN last week the state had a deal with a private company for 500 ventilators to be sent to Colorado. But FEMA, he says, stopped the contract from going through so it could acquire the machines instead. Polis said yesterday he is grateful for the ventilators, the outcome outweighing the politics. We have the latest now at 6:03 on the number of coronavirus cases and deaths here in Colorado. Here's where we stand this morning. There are more than 5,500 confirmed cases of the virus in Colorado. There are almost 500 cases in El Paso County. There have been almost 200 deaths, with Denver County having the most reported deaths at 33. El Paso and Weld counties have 30 deaths. We might see those numbers rise because more testing is becoming available. Centura Health opened 7 new test locations all across Colorado. The location in Colorado Springs is off Circle and Union. Right now, healthcare workers are only testing first responders who are showing symptoms. There's also a location open now in Pueblo. It's on Outlook Boulevard off Highway 50. Again, both locations are just for first responders who are showing symptoms. They do not need a doctor's note. In about a half hour, another round of new unemployment claims will be released by the government. The last 2 weeks have seen historic numbers, with nearly 10 million people applying for benefits. Analysts say with no clear end in sight for the outbreak, the numbers will continue to rise, and we'll make sure to update you with those as soon as they come in. It's been 2 weeks since the governor's stay-at-home order went into effect, and local small businesses, they are feeling that impact. 11 News reporter Jenna Middaugh is live at Poor Richards, a favorite in downtown Colorado Springs. Jenna, what has that business changed?
11 News.
Yeah, it's been tough. A lot of us trying to eat out more to help support these businesses. Thanks, Jenna. Looking ahead, some without jobs will start seeing bigger unemployment checks as early as this week. In the $2 trillion stimulus package, Congress included an additional $600 weekly payment for unemployed workers. It'll last up to 4 months until the end of July. This is in addition to regular jobless benefits that are usually just a fraction of a worker's previous take-home pay. When the payments will be available will vary by state as the federal government works with the states to administer the program. Right now, Peterson Air Force Base and Cheyenne Mountain Air Force Station say everyone is required to wear a mask when they can't maintain that 6 feet from others in public areas and work centers. People in their homes, cars, or outside do not have to wear masks. Anyone at the pharmacy, commissary, or base exchange not wearing a mask will actually be turned away. So the Thunderbirds are set to perform at the Air Force graduation. You may have seen or heard them practicing yesterday. It's always a welcome sight. People were allowed to sit outside and watch as they wore masks and stayed at least 6 feet apart.
Looks really cool, and just to get out of the house from this quarantine thing.
It is cool to get out of the house and see this. The real show will be April 18th when the actual graduation happens. As you know, it was moved up 6 weeks because of the coronavirus outbreak. Family and friends won't be able to go, but everyone will be able to watch the Thunderbirds perform. And looking ahead, we know a lot of people are disappointed they won't be able to go to church on Easter Sunday or celebrate Passover together, which lasts until next Thursday. The governor, as we said, extended that stay-at-home order, so it's till the end of April. He says staying home is the right thing to do. So here's the good news. You can watch a local service right here on KKTV. At 9:30 on Easter morning, we will broadcast a 1-hour service from Woodman Valley Chapel. It'll be commercial free. This is new this morning. Officers and troopers are setting up extra security in one prison facility. This comes after hundreds of prisoners created a massive disturbance last night and even threatened to set fires. This is at the Moreau Correctional Complex in Washington State. Officials there reportedly had to call the Washington State Patrol. The Washington Department of Corrections says 6 men in the prison tested positive for COVID-19. All 6 are isolated from the general population and are being monitored by the facility's healthcare team. This is new this morning here at 6:09. 84 patients at a nursing home had to be evacuated because employees didn't show up to work. It happened in Los Angeles, California on Tuesday. Only one person showed up, so some nurses were sent in to help out. But then yesterday, was the same story, so everyone had to be moved. The coronavirus outbreak has hit Magnolia hard. County health officials say 34 patients have it and 5 employees have it too. Once everyone gets moved, the facility will be closed to new patients and the staff won't be allowed to work at other facilities. We'll be right back. Thanks, Lucy. Time now is 6:15. This is happening now. A local YMCA is trying to help out workers during the pandemic. The YMCA off Spalding Avenue in Pueblo will offer free childcare to essential workers until May 17th. This is open to anyone who works essential jobs like healthcare, defense, or construction. They will check children's temperatures when they come in, and they'll watch the kids closely for any possible symptoms. It's provided through a state program we've told you about. So if you need to find free childcare in your area, we have a link at KKTV.com. Happening today, Mitchell High School will be holding a food giveaway in response to the pandemic. Here's the information you need to know. It'll be at the school. The address is on your screen, Potter Drive. It starts at 2:30. It will continue until food runs out. In a statement, the school says it will be a drive-up style. Everyone does have to stay in their cars, but people who walk or take public transportation will have a separate line, so they're able to receive food as well. Right now, authorities in one state are cleaning up after a tornado tore through the area. So we're checking in with our meteorologist, Lucy Bergman now. Lucy, you've been tracking the damage. What can you tell us about this storm?
Severe weather has moved out of the area this morning and to the east. Rebecca?
Hate to see that, especially right now. Thank you. This is developing. Nike is joining other companies in an effort to make face shields. How they're doing it is by repurposing sneakers to create face shields for healthcare workers. CBS News reports collar padding that was supposed to be used in the shoes and cords that were originally for apparel. They're now going into the shields. It's kind of interesting how the science of that works. Now, Nike makes its first shipment to Oregon Health and Science University on April 3rd, or they did already. They'll continue to provide the equipment to health systems in the region. Pretty cool. Happening right now, Panera is turning to grocery deliveries as coronavirus shuts down restaurants. The service called Panera Grocery gives customers the option of ordering common grocery items alongside the company's usual products of sandwiches, soups, and salads. Consumers can use Panera's app or the company's website to order groceries for delivery or pickup. CBS News reports Panera operates more than 2,100 restaurants and employs more than 50,000 people. Panera last reported annual revenue of nearly $3 billion in 2016. Spain has been the world's second hardest hit country from the coronavirus after the U.S. Coming up in an 11 breaking news alert, the update we learned while you were sleeping that might bring some hope. But first, another insurance company is trying to give a little financial relief to customers. How much credit Geico is giving back? Welcome back to 11 News This Morning. Your time right now is 6:22. Oh, look at this beautiful view from downtown Colorado Springs. Pikes Peak lit up a little bit with snow on it. I love that. We'll have your forecast in a few moments. In the meantime, we are looking ahead. Funds meant to help small businesses could be approved in Congress by the end of the week. The Trump administration officially submitted a $251 billion request for small businesses yesterday. The new initiative would direct forgivable loans to businesses with fewer than 500 employees. The funding would go to pay salaries, benefits, and other costs like mortgages, rent, and utilities. Last month, Congress allocated $349 billion to help small businesses survive. New this morning, some good news out of the pandemic. Robocalls are dropping during the outbreak. How about that? YouMail is a robocall blocking app, and it reports the number of calls last month were down 15% compared to February. YouMail says the drop is due to social distancing, restricting how many people can work in call centers. According to the LA Times, the FCC is giving telecom companies until June 30th of next year to roll out a system that allows those companies to verify that a call is from who it says it's from and not a spam caller pretending to be someone else. You know, I got a spam call yesterday, so I guess they're still happening, just fewer. So right now, another car insurance company is giving customers a break. With most Americans under stay-at-home orders, driving, less people are doing that. Accidents are also down significantly. Geico is giving policyholders a 15% credit on 6-month policies. The credit applies when policies are renewed or if they were started between now and October 8th. It's estimated this will amount to about $2.5 billion in savings. Allstate and American Family Insurance are also giving back to customers, as we've told you about. We have an 11 breaking news alert. Spain is going to start the process of easing lockdown measures. Spain has been the world's second hardest hit country after the U.S. Almost 150,000 cases have been confirmed, and the death toll stands at almost 15,000. The Spanish Prime Minister is asking Parliament to extend the state of emergency to April 26th. He says, quote, "We have reached the peak and it is time to start the process of going back to normalcy." So not the greatest news, but a little bit of hope that we can all have that things are starting to improve in Spain. Lucy?
Becca.
All right, thank you. We are all feeling some stress from the stay-at-home order in several ways. The owners of local businesses are feeling that as well. Coming up, how much loss one business has suffered and how they are trying to adapt. At 6:27, we've got one more peek outside before we take a break. We'll leave you with this view of Pikes Peak. We'll be right back. Welcome back to 11 News This Morning at 6:30. I'm Rebecca Hager. Adam is working from home today as we try to slow the spread of coronavirus. So in minutes, another round of new unemployment claims will be released by the U.S. government. The last 2 weeks have seen historic numbers with nearly 10 million people applying for benefits. Analysts say with no clear end in sight for the coronavirus outbreak, the numbers will continue to rise. And again, that's coming within minutes. So CBS, we know, is going to break in with a special report. Let's go to that now. So I just got a push alert from AP as well. 10% of the workforce in the U.S. now out of work. We know a lot of people in Colorado are also without jobs. They add to that unemployment rate. Businesses still have about 2 more weeks at least before the stay-at-home order ends from Governor Jared Polis. We have 11 News reporter Jenna Middle live at Port Richards in downtown Colorado Springs. And Jenna, you've been talking to a lot of businesses. How bad is it? How many people are out of work at these businesses?
ATV 11 News.
Yeah, hopefully we can all eat out, buy online locally, and make this a little bit easier. Thanks, Jenna. Time is 6:36. We want to check in now with our meteorologist, Lucy Bergman. She's got your forecast. How's it going today, Lucy?
Good morning, Rebecca.
Thank you. New today, a crew member on a Navy hospital ship treating patients for coronavirus is in isolation after testing positive for COVID-19. The Navy says the crew member on board the USNS Mercy will soon be transferred to an isolation facility. The Mercy is docked in Los Angeles. The Navy says this will not affect the ship's ability to receive patients. 2 days ago, a crew member on the Navy ship Comfort also tested positive. It's docked in New York. Right now, nearly 1,200 patients in our state are in the hospital because of COVID-19. There are over 5,600 positive cases statewide and nearly 200 deaths. El Paso County has about 470 cases. Pueblo County has 45. Another nursing home in southern Colorado is seeing a coronavirus outbreak. The Canyon Lodge Care Center in Canyon City has 2 confirmed cases now. We asked the health department what's considered an outbreak. They tell us it's when there are 1 or more cases in the same facility within a week. All 35 patients have been tested, and so far the 2 COVID positive patients do not need to be hospitalized. There are 5 cases total in Fremont County.
To kind of get around this paving. Rebecca?
Thank you. New this morning, state health workers now believe people in Colorado may have been getting sick from COVID-19 as early as mid-January. The Colorado Sun reports the virus was already spreading by the time the state received test kits from the CDC, and that was in late February. It's the same time a deadly cluster of the virus began at a bridge tournament held in Colorado Springs. The Sun reports epidemiologists arrived at the possible January date by looking at the first cases identified by the State Department of Health. Researchers aren't sure if the virus was brought here by 1 or multiple people. And the virus appeared to have been imported to New York City from the United Kingdom and several European countries, including France, Austria, and the Netherlands. Researchers also revealed daily flights from Europe were a way to bring the virus to the city. Later this week, Walgreens is expected to open more than a dozen drive-through coronavirus collection sites. The company says it'll be using a new rapid test that can give results in under 15 minutes. The FDA approved the test under an emergency authorization last month. Walmart and CVS both said they would open more testing locations. The locations of the Walgreens sites aren't finalized yet, but they are planned for areas with escalating rates of COVID-19. The company says it should be able to test up to 3,000 people per day. All right, 6:48. Give you a look outside before we take one more break. Here you go. It looks a little bit dreary from our camera in Monument. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to 11 News This Morning. I'm Rebecca Hager. Adam's working from home. Let's start with your forecast with our meteorologist, Lucy Bergman. Lucy? 11 breaking news alert. If you're just joining us, we learned about 20 minutes ago another record was set on the number of people filing for unemployment. Adam is tracking the new numbers live remotely. Adam, what are we seeing here? It has been 2 weeks now since the stay-at-home order from Governor Polis went into effect. Local small businesses are feeling the impact. 11 News reporter Jenna Middaugh is joining us live. She spoke to Port Richards in downtown Colorado Springs. Jenna? All right, thank you. Tough to hear. Looking ahead, some without jobs will start seeing bigger unemployment checks as early as this week. In the $2 trillion stimulus package, Congress did include an additional $600 weekly payment for unemployed workers. It'll last up to 4 months until the end of July. This is in addition to regular jobless benefits that are usually just a fraction of a worker's previous take-home pay. When the payments will be available will vary by state. The federal government is working with states to administer the program. We are waiting for the delivery of 100 ventilators from the Trump administration. A tweet from President Trump signaled the machines were on the way, thanks to Senator Cory Gardner. The Republican spoke with Fox News about Colorado's joint efforts to find more ventilators and thanked the president for the donation. Governor Polis talked to CNN last week and said the state had a deal with a private company for 500 ventilators to be sent to the state. But FEMA, he says, actually stopped the contract from going through so it could acquire the ventilators instead. Polis said yesterday he's grateful for the ventilators, the outcome outweighing the politics. I know you were seeing Cory Gardner, but I'm talking about Polis. All right, let's check in with Lucy again for our Easter forecast.
Going to see that ice. Rebecca?
Surprising for spring in Colorado, right? Your time right now is 6:56. Up next is CBS This Morning. We'll see you guys in about 25 minutes for a cut-in. And don't forget about 11 News at 9 o'clock today. Have a great day. Stay healthy, everyone.